Okay, so thank you for this. Welcome. I don't know how many of you work in a biological lab. I do for my PhD thesis. And I can tell you that working in the lab is many times very tedious, and only rarely it is tremendous. However, a Spanish scientist roughly 30 years ago went through a lot of very tedious work when he looked at the DNA of bacteria that he found in some saline wetlands in southern Spain. He did all that work, and people at the time would most likely say that is very boring and also very tedious. And only very few would have predicted that that work actually laid the basis for tremendous results. For a tremendous result, that is a revolution in biotechnology that we call CRISPR, and some of you might have heard of. CRISPR, and I here brought the acronym, which some of you might have seen. And I actually want to ask the audience, how many of you know what CRISPR is? I see a few hands, that is nice. And how many of you think that CRISPR is just a new name of a cornflakes brand? I saw some people raising their hands twice, but only very few, which is a good thing. It is a good thing because CRISPR actually is a DNA cutting technology that has revolutionized biotechnology, as I said, and agriculture, and is most likely also going to have a huge impact on medicine. CRISPR is a DNA cutting technology that allows to cut DNA very precisely. So imagine what we could do before is we could alternate DNA as well, but we could only do so in a random way. Imagine this is DNA, and this is where we want to cut it. Before CRISPR, we would have done it randomly, cutting here, cutting there, eventually getting to the spot that we want to cut. Very inefficient. Now, with CRISPR, things change. We can very precisely target the site at the DNA that we want to cut. So we go, we cut, and that's the end of the story. So this is very nice because it saves us a lot of time and allows for the efficient study of the function of genes, which is what I did in my PhD study. It potentially allows for the enhancement of plants to make them equipped for drier temperatures, and this is important at times of climate change. It of course also allows potentially for the cure of genetic diseases. So I hope most of you would agree that all that tedious work led to very tremendous results in the end. But of course those tremendous results also come with tremendous responsibility, because if we can change genes to cure diseases, we might as well change genes to get stronger muscles or a nicer color of our eyes. So now, before I end, I would like to leave you with two key messages. Message number one: CRISPR is here, and it's here to stay. You should all be familiar with it. It will have huge impact on our society. You should be aware of the potential, but also of the ethical implications, because we need, as a society, to decide what we want to do with it. Message number two: definitely not all tedious work leads to tremendous results. I can tell you, based on the experience of my PhD. But for sure, all tremendous results are based on a lot of tedious work. Thank you.